generation. Today we're reacting to. I got me some Starbucks. I need to lay off the caffeine. You know what I'm saying? But today we're reacting to the top 20 new RPGs of 2023. Because I reacted to this last year, but
a bunch of RPGs to get your hands on. So
but
let's talk about some of the ones we're really looking forward to. We've got 20 or so to talk about, so let's get started off with number 20. Sea of Stars is a turn-based RPG adventure that, as you can see here, is clearly heavily inspired by some classic ones. The turn-based battle system looks very much like the battle systems of the games we grew up playing, as well as just traveling around the overworld.
It looks like Pokemon.
And it seems like this one's gonna have a pretty compelling story. You and your party are fighting to save the world, and you're using the powers of the sun and the moon. And the thing that's really stood out to us in particular are the boss battles. Some of the monster designs just seem really sweet. This is from Sabotage Studios, the people behind the Messenger, and I think that's really important to point out because that was a really
pretty dope,
underrated indie game. And as of right now, we know Sea of Stars is slated for 2023. Now, next over at number 19, we have to mention Path of Exile 2. We know this has been a thing for a while now, and it has been long awaited, and apparently it's going to finally be unveiled this year fully, and we're going to get a release. We've been waiting for this for about 3 years or so, and the developers have said so far development is going well, and summer of 2023
is this already
we
released?
should know more, and we're looking forward to that because...
Oh yes, I was watching Blue Lock, but Path of Exile 2. Takes place 20 years after events of the main game. Release date. This actually looks cool, so I'm actually looking at it because I might want to play. July 29th. So July 29th.
Because Path of Exile, the
main game will come out
in 2024. Isometric RPGs still to this day. It's from 2013. It's free to play now, but we've been waiting long enough, and it seems like 2023 is when we're finally getting more. Now, next over at number 18, we have Greedfall 2: The Dying World. This game is slated for 2023, and it's a follow-up to the underrated Greedfall, a flawed game, but still a really fun RPG adventure where you're kind of like a colonist settler type person that travels to a new world, and you're dealing with natives, but also monsters and creatures. But
it was mainly underrated.
So it's kind of got like a...
It was mainly underrated because it was only PC based. Like, if they would actually take it to fucking console where all the main players are and let them play it, it would be a very high anticipated game.
Fantasy spin on the US colonies thing, and it was really awesome and underrated, but it seems like they're really changing gears with the sequel. Now it's like the opposite. Instead of going to the new world, now you're a native traveling to the old world. So we're expecting more city type stuff, but hopefully still cool monsters and magic and creepiness. Their games really only get better and better, so we're hoping they get more resources this time around and just make a kick-ass new Greedfall game.
Hell yeah.
Now, next over at number 17, we have Sengoku Dynasty. We've talked about this one before, and this is a pretty ambitious game. It's an RPG, but kind of like a bunch of stuff. It's all about you going from like a peasant villager to a ruler in feudal Japan. It's all about growing and developing your character, but also building out a village, taking care of your people, and overall just becoming
this game.
So it's like combat.
This game has been anticipated for 2 years. Like, I remember when I first started YouTube, or when I first seen it, it was 2021. When I reacted to the second part of this, it was 2022 when I started my YouTube. And I reacted to it. It was 2022. I restarted my YouTube. 2022 when I started my YouTube. I reacted to the same thing, top 20. And this was in it too. And I said, I cannot wait for this game. And it still has no release date. They said last year it was going to come out. It still didn't come out. They said this year is going to come out. They're probably lying too.
RPG mechanics, a full-on adventure, just a bunch of stuff rolled into one, and it seems like it's really cool if they nail the ambitious concept. Going from zero to hero sounds cool in a video game. We've done it before, but doing a million other things like building up a town and stuff, that's a lot, and we're really hoping they nail it. As of right now, Sengoku Dynasty is slated for the second quarter of 2023. Next over at number 16, let's go a little bit more speculative and talk Avowed. This is Obsidian's new RPG, specifically for Xbox, since they're owned by Microsoft now. And some people have been billing it as kind of like Obsidian's answer to Elder Scrolls RPGs, like as a fantasy first-person type of thing, but we don't know for sure yet because we haven't seen a lot of this game. But Xbox has seriously been talking up how 2023 is going to be a big year for them, so we're expecting to see a lot more of Avowed, and considering it's been in development for a long time, we're hoping maybe we get to play it this year. We don't know for sure.
Holy shit,
that's speculation. I don't...
That's dope as fuck. Holy shit.
No, but fingers crossed. Next at number 15.
That's actually
Lies
dope.
of P is essentially the dark
Push a
and
P.
gritty Pinocchio from software game you've always wanted. This is a Victorian
It's a FromSoft game.
era sci-fi Souls-like game. With that comes
I'm
all
playing
the
it.
RPG-style character building and customization, giving yourself different robotic arms for different capabilities, different weapon types, and lots of combat scenarios. From what we've seen from this game so far, visually, atmospherically, it just seems awesome and really unique. There are a lot of adaptations of Pinocchio out there. I mean, really, just in the last year alone, but nothing quite like this. And with some
That
cool
is
RPG
so
gameplay to
cool.
back it up, we're definitely in. We've been eyeing Lies of P since it was initially teased, and now that we've seen gameplay, we're even more excited. It's pretty much what we expect. But we're
It
just
looks a
hoping that
lot
they
like,
knock it out of the park. And
Bloodborne.
thankfully, we now know it's coming in 2023. Next, over at number 14, we
Hold
have
on.
Persona 3.
We need this. Lies of P. Release date. Yeah. There we go. 2023. It's just like Bloodborne.
3 and
What's
4. Yes, these
Yeah.
games are finally hitting all the regular consoles, and it's about time. 2023 is going to be the year of Persona. I mean, we got Persona 5, but then now Persona 3 and 4 Golden are coming January 19th of 2023
I won't play none of
for all
that.
the consoles. These games are absolutely legendary JRPGs, and even though they're re-releases, we still hold them in such high regard, and it's a really big deal that these games are getting in more audiences' hands. If you've never played one, now is the time. The way these games are structured around school, life, developing and building characters, and battling in really, really unique vibes with incredible music and cool designs. Really, Persona games are just like nothing else out there. So if you love RPGs, but really, if you
Okay,
love
I might try it on my
JRPGs,
own time.
keep
This
your
guy
eye out.
convinced me. This guy's promotion skills
Now,
is
next
crazy.
over at number 13, we have the Gothic 1 remake. This remake was announced a while back, but this is a full from-the-ground remake of the classic
Damn, this
RPG
reminds me of the section in Elden Ring when you go to the fire area.
from 2001. You're set free. You create your own character. in
By the way,
this
I gotta make an
world,
Elden
and
Ring
at the
video
time,
today.
it
That's
was
what I gotta
nothing
do.
short of revolutionary. Now, with this new remake, THQ Nordic and the developers Alchemia Interactive have stated that they want to modernize it, but still keep the original feel. And now, thankfully,
yeah.
more recently, towards the end of 2022, we've finally gotten a look at what this game will look like, and it seems pretty sweet. A lot of people are expecting to see this in 2023, so while it doesn't technically have a release date, it seems like it's finally dropping this year. That's just speculation on our part, though, of course, but we're really hoping it drops because it's really a piece of role-playing game history. Now, next over at number 12, we have another one that's a bit speculation, but it's Dragon Age Dreadwolf. We're hoping we finally see this one this year because BioWare and EA announced it so long ago, and they've been working on it for a really long time. Since we've finally gotten an official title for this damn game, we're hoping 2023 is the year it finally drops. We're patient. If it takes longer, that's fine. We don't want another buggy game release, but Dragon Age fans have been left hungry out in the cold for a long, long time, and to be honest, we're just hoping 2023 is the year for them. Next,
Should be.
over at number 11, we have Darkest Dungeon 2, which, believe it or not, has actually been in early access, but it looks like it's
Oh,
getting
it looks
a
like
full
Tiny
release
Tina's.
in 2023. The original Darkest Dungeon, if you don't know, is just absolutely legendary stuff. It's a roguelike with RPG elements and just a ton of thinking involved with some great turn-based combat, and Darkest Dungeon 2 definitely ramps things up. Cooler character designs, just way more going on visually, and new systems in this one that just make your decisions even more important. Like, this game really will make you live with your decisions. This
But
one
I
is centered more around
also
building a
wonder what
party
it's
and
about, 'cause
riding
I've never played a
stagecoach
Darkest Dungeon. I was
across
probably
a
young when
gross,
it came out.
creepy, spooky land. And while you're dealing with all that, if you haven't played Darkest Dungeon, a lot of it is dealing with your party members themselves and managing them. Darkest Dungeon 2's tagline is "Face your failures," and if it's anything like the original Darkest Dungeon, the failures are painful, but it's the whole name of the game and it's part of the fun. Darkest Dungeon
Okay.
2 is officially finally dropping the second quarter of 2023.
Okay.
This is live from PS5 with a PlayStation Plus update.
You rubbing I don't got a PS5 in my
Over at
face.
number 10, we have Wolong Fallen Dynasty. This is like an action RPG from Team Ninja and Koei Tecmo. So it's the people behind
That game
Nioh,
just dropped.
one
I
of the
actually wanna
better
play it.
Souls-like style games. And this one takes place in ancient China with more intense combat, seemingly crazier boss battles, and seemingly lots of fun elements of character building. There's going to be a bunch of different play styles with different weapon types, different magic uses, different specific spells to take advantage of.
Do I
and
make you
hopefully
horny,
just a ton
baby?
of depth. It seems like they're really doubling down on storytelling on this one too, which is something we definitely wanted to see. I mean, the Nioh
Okay.
games, their previous games had stories, but what we see here so far just seems incredibly cinematic and emotional. Either way, we'll know for sure when this drops March 3rd, 2023. Next over at
Hell
number
yeah.
9.
Hold on. I just want to say something. Copyright! Motherfucking yes! I was watching Rango, okay? Fuck, you caught me. I didn't know the audio was on my TV. The bitch started talking. That shit scared the fuck out of me. Okay, we good though.
And we have Cyberpunk 2077's Phantom Liberty expansion. This is the big old paid expansion for
Okay.
Cyberpunk.
No one cares about
Characters, new
Cyberpunk. It was
Johnny
one of the biggest
Messy Pig,
disappointments
and
in
what I agree
history.
is
I do
pretty
not care.
Full-fledged and a good of the
Skip
Fallen.
that shit.
Follow up to Lords of the Fallen, but this one is going in seemingly a pretty
That shit
different
was-
direction, at least style-wise. Like the original, though, this is a Souls-like style action RPG where you build up a character, embrace different character types, and fight your way across a challenging land with bosses and monsters. But this time around, you're in a magical, mystical, desolate, hellish landscape, and you're tasked with overthrowing a demon god. Apparently, the game worlds are going to be 5 times larger than in the previous game, and the combat is going to be way more tactical with this cool lantern device that you're going to be able to take advantage of that has otherworldly powers. There's going to be full character customization, which we like
I
to
ain't
see
interested
with
in this
those,
one.
and essentially,
Nope,
this-
not interested in that one.
the
Hogwarts
combat-
Legacy already dropped.
I think it might be a good time to get into the Forgotten Realms and build your character and go out.
Starfield, that's a game
Land
that I
on
actually
planets.
seen, and we actually reacted to this. That was really good. If you guys did enjoy this, obviously we're not going to finish this today because I got reasons that people are walking in my house and shit, and it's not going to be able to record because everybody's being loud. So I love you guys. I'm going to make an Elden Ring video later on today. I'm really excited for that. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you know what I'm saying, join the new generation. If you guys are new, I love every single one of y'all. Peace out. We're going to be the greatest community ever on YouTube. Peace out, guys.